In December, Tony and I took a racecation to Arizona for a 50-mile ultramarathon that I ran, and this is the trip report for that. We ran the race, but we also did a little bit of sightseeing on this trip. Flew into Phoenix, on our way to Right, we made it to Fountain Hills. We are at our Airbnb. Just really looking forward to our time here and relaxing in the time before and after the 50-mile race. I really wanted to have a place that felt like a place I wanted to hang out for a long time. Plus, Tony may or may not be working remotely, depending on how busy
I might be doing a little
things
work.
are.
So I think I found where I'm going to work from, though. I think it's going to be right here.
I think so. So game plan, tonight we're just gonna relax, and then tomorrow we're heading into Phoenix to the Aravepa running, their warehouse, which is where packet pickup is. I don't know what part of Phoenix that's in. I doubt it's in the center of Phoenix. I have a suspicion it's in some like industrial boring area where nobody would ever go to if they didn't have some specific purpose. But that's our plan for tomorrow. We'll probably get lunch somewhere in the area and then spend the afternoon here again, relaxing, eating dinner tomorrow night, and then Saturday is our big day, the 50-mile race. So looking forward to just chilling out for a while. The day after the 50-mile race, Tony and I planned to take it kind of easy. I wasn't really sure what I was up for, but we had some light touring activities planned. We took a drive along the Apache Trail scenic drive to Tortilla Flat to start. Tortilla Flat is this little Old West style town. According to the website for Tortilla Flat, it was established as a stagecoach stop in 1904 with the construction of the road to the Theodore Roosevelt Dam. The town website describes itself as a remnant of the Old West. We ate lunch at the Superstition Saloon there. It was a very kitschy place. It had some really delicious tap root beer, and its thing seems to be that guests leave dollar bills along almost every service. We overheard a waitress telling someone that dollar bills were even $4 or $5 bills thick. We are pretty sure that this is a there's always money in the banana stand situation.
There's always money in a banana stand.
After that, we went to the store to eat some prickly pear gelato, which the town is known for.
Tortilla Flats, trying the prickly pear gelato. It's been, we've read, is it a specialty here?
Yeah, I think it's a specialty here. Also taking note that we were eating it under the hanging body of some scoundrel.
Mm-hmm. Tastes a lot like sherbet. Or sherbet, I should say. But it's good.
And we also bought some prickly pear licorice for our drive to Sedona the next day. And then we drove back along the Apache Trail scenic drive to our next destination. This trail was originally used by the Apache Native American tribe to travel through the Superstition Mountains, and then later in 1904, the road itself was constructed to provide access to the Theodore Roosevelt Dam, which was completed in 1911. And according to the Arizona Department of Transportation website, much of the route, particularly east of Tortilla Flat, retains its original historic character. Now, we did not go east of Tortilla Flat, we stayed west of Tortilla Flat. The road itself stretches for 40 miles along mostly unpaved road. It's very winding. It's not recommended for large vehicles.
It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm. The bouquets of flowers on the side of the road. It means nothing. So maybe not everyone that had cocktails at the Tortilla Flat Saloon, and then we'll be very careful here. And there is currently a 5-mile stretch in the middle that is closed long-term after some extensive flood damage. And on our way back along the Apache Trail Scenic Drive, we stopped at Goldfield Mine Ghost Town. This is a historic town that was established in the early 1890s with a mine, but the mine was only opened a few years before it closed, and as such, Goldfield became a ghost town, and now tourists can come and do mine tours, they can ride an old-timey train, they can see an Old West-style shootout reenactment. I really wanted to watch the shootout reenactment. However, on this current day, there was no reenactment. A woman that works at the museum in the town said that the actors who are volunteers were not going to come that day because it rained yesterday. I'm sure there was probably some sort of logistical reason why raining yesterday meant that they couldn't come today, but that just sounded kind of funny to me. It rained yesterday, so they can't come today. Okay, so instead we browsed the shops and we saw a woman's private collection of venomous snakes. It's not as weird as it sounds, or maybe it's just as weird as it sounds. Hi. The next day we drove to Sedona, but I think Sedona deserves its own video, so more on that later. After we drove back from Sedona, we went to Scottsdale and we spent one full day in Scottsdale. Hello, good morning. We have just left Sedona and we are stopping and filling up on gas, and we are driving down to Scottsdale today. We're on our way to a coffee shop where Tony's going to get a couple hours of work done, and then hopefully we're going to be checking out the Botanical Gardens nearby. In the morning, we went to the Botanical Gardens, which Tony and I both really enjoyed. I think if you're not going to go into the desert when you are in Arizona, then the Botanical Gardens in Scottsdale might be a must-see, because it was very cool to see all the flora and fauna that grows in this area. In the afternoon, we browsed Old Town Scottsdale, which I thought was fine. It wasn't my favorite place to be. I'm not like a big just stroll and shop kind of person. So if you're into just browsing shops and eating kind of foodie style food, maybe you'll like Scottsdale. I don't know, but it wasn't my favorite place, but we had a good time. The next day, in the morning before flying out with our afternoon flight, we went to the Pueblo Grande Archeological Museum in Phoenix. It's very close to the airport. The museum is built on an archaeological site with ruins by the first known settlers of the Phoenix area, the Hohokam tribe. These are the ancestral Sonoran Desert people. The Hohokam settled in the area around 500 AD, creating an irrigation canal system and agricultural fields. The community thrived here for the next 1,000 years before the population began to disperse as people began to relocate into smaller villages. And at the museum, you can walk through the ruins of a platform mound with rooms, a ball court, and read about sports played, which does include foot races, which may interest you as a potential runner watching this channel. And you can see the canals. There's also a small museum you can walk through with pottery and art created and lots of different artifacts that are found, including some very cute figurines of dogs and a little plaque that says that they believe that dogs were companions for people and that sometimes they find dogs very carefully buried, which only furthers my belief that if you don't like dogs, there is something like biologically wrong with you. Why don't you like dogs? What's wrong? Who hurt you? We also saw coyotes in the parking lot of the Pueblo Grande Archeological Museum, which was very fun. I was keeping my eyes peeled for wildlife the whole time on my run and I never saw anything, so it was such a treat to be able to see some coyotes doing their thing, living their life. So I hope you enjoyed this video of our trip report in the Scottsdale area around Phoenix. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and take care. Bye.